Showers and scattered strong to potentially severe thunderstorms today. They'll develop across portions of New York early to mid-afternoon, peak late this afternoon, and then gradually wind down into the early and mid-evening. But a few isolated cells are expected to regenerate off to the west and move across Vermont during the night tonight. We have the setup right now. This is current dew point temperatures, and we've had a decent amount of sunshine. We're starting to see conditions become a little bit more unstable, mainly off to the west of us, before this cloud band begins to move into the region. That'll slow the instability. Storm Prediction Center shows about 1,000 joules of the instability in this particular area here, a very narrow band. It's worked in across from Pennsylvania and then sort of connecting now just east of Lake Ontario. This is going to be taking a track toward our region, and it may slow down some of the instability, but we have sufficient instability right now, and as well as shear upstream here across portions of southeastern Ontario, greater than 35 knots, and that's what's going to be working in here across the region later on this afternoon. SPC Anvil wind shear shows winds about 20 knots at Anvil level, so a lot of the blow-off will head up to the north and west. And SPC's current bulk shear right now, 40 knots or greater up to the north of us, and then some areas here in the eastern Great Lakes, this is going to be sliding toward our region. Quick concentration on winds right now. These are surface winds at 10 meters, and you can see the direction out of the southwest. This is favorable. And what we're going to do is we'll leave that, and we'll take the 700 millibar wind, which is basically close to the steering wind, and that's in these yellow barbs. You can see some of these areas they crisscross over, so we're probably going to get some rolling action in the atmosphere. And these winds, let's stop it here with the latest. We're looking at the winds at 700 millibars blowing in about 30 knots, 230 degrees, and these will be pretty much where the storms will be moving, just out of the southwest and northeast across the state. So anything off to the west or southwest of us will be rolling in. And it does look like with the Anvil blow-off heading northbound, we'll get a good look at the towering cumulus clouds that will be the leading edge of the storms, with coal black clouds on the underneath, and probably be able to see the rain shafts without too much trouble, and the Anvil level clouds shearing off to the north and west. In latest computer modeling, this is the HRRR model. This is valid at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and we're trying to indicate some potential for some buildups here, a few showers, maybe even almost a thunderstorm cell here, and this is going to rapidly move out of the region. And then we're into probably increasing clouds at this point by 1 o'clock, but we should start to see some signatures of some thunderstorm activity, mainly to the north of the border area, east of Montreal, and then we'll watch what happens off to the west of us, and that will slide into the region. This looks probably getting into the peak. This is about 4 to 5 time frame. And so I think the main action is going to be in this general neck of the woods here in timing. But there are rogue cells that will regenerate behind the first push. And these move on through mainly central areas. And mostly will be just heavy rain producers, a little bit less than lightning, and probably not as severe as the initial thrust here. So the time we're looking at is probably anywhere from around 3 through about maybe 8 o'clock. And I think that's going to be the main time here. And this alert will probably expire after about 8 o'clock, but we'll still have sub-alert criteria with a few thunderstorms regenerating after those initial bursts moves on by with that band. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights.